Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global English Talks. I'm Susan, and I'm very happy you are here with us today.
And I'm Mark. Thanks for joining us. This podcast is for people who want to improve English through real conversations about daily life.
Yes, we don't give heavy lessons or complicated grammar. We just talk like friends, slowly and clearly, so you can listen, relax, and learn naturally.
Maybe you are driving, cooking, walking, or drinking coffee right now. Wherever you are, we want this to feel like two friends sitting with you.
Our goal is simple. We help you understand everyday English, the kind people use at work, at the store, or when meeting someone new.
And today's episode is special because many learners feel nervous about this topic. But after this conversation, you may feel more confident starting small conversations anywhere.
So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and don't worry about understanding every word. Just listen and enjoy the moment with us.
Welcome again to Global English Talks. Let's begin together.
So, Mark, can I tell you something a little funny? Yesterday, I tried to avoid small talk at the supermarket. I saw a neighbor near the fruit section, and I suddenly became very interested in oranges.
You hid behind oranges?
Yes, very serious oranges. I pretended to read every label like I was studying for an exam. I just didn't feel ready to talk.
I understand that feeling. Sometimes small talk feels harder than a long conversation. Last week, I was waiting at a barber shop in downtown Austin, early in the morning, maybe 8:30. The man next to me looked at me and said, "Cold today, right?" My brain froze.
Oh no, the classic weather conversation.
Exactly. I knew the answer. Of course I knew it was cold, but I waited too long and suddenly the moment passed. I just smiled like a confused tourist.
That happens to many English learners too. You understand the words later, maybe 5 seconds later, but the conversation already moved on.
Yes, and the funny part is that small talk is usually very simple English, short sentences, easy vocabulary, but the pressure makes it feel difficult.
I think the problem is not language, it's emotion. When someone talks to you suddenly, your brain says, "Oh no, I must be perfect."
And perfection is very slow. Conversation is fast.
Exactly. I remember a listener email from Maria in Spain. She said she understands podcasts very well at home, but when a coworker asked, "How was your weekend?" she answered only, "Good," then silence.
That silence feels long, doesn't it? Like 10 minutes, even if it's only 3 seconds.
Yes, you start thinking, should I say more? Did I sound rude? Should I ask something back?
And meanwhile, the other person is just thinking about coffee or their next meeting. They are not judging you at all.
That's true. Most people use small talk just to be friendly, not to test your English.
I also notice small talk appears in unexpected places. Elevators, waiting rooms, taxi rides, even standing in line for bread.
Oh, yes. Once I was in a long bakery line on a rainy Sunday morning. Everyone smelled like fresh bread and wet jackets. A woman behind me said, "At least the rain is good for the flowers." Suddenly, we talked for 10 minutes about gardens.
That's beautiful. And it started with one simple sentence.
Exactly. Small talk is like opening a tiny window. You don't know if fresh air or a long conversation will come in.
I like that image. And today, we want to explore that moment, that first small window between strangers.
Because many listeners want to speak more English in real life, not only study alone.
And small talk is usually the first step into real connection.
So today we are talking about making small talk. Not perfect talk, not long speeches, just those short, friendly conversations that happen in normal life.
Yes, those moments when you meet a coworker near the coffee machine, or when someone sits next to you on a bus and smiles. Nothing serious, just human connection.
Many English learners tell us they feel ready for big conversations. They can talk about work projects or travel plans, but small talk feels strange or uncomfortable.
I think it's because small talk has no clear goal. You're not solving a problem, you're not giving information, you're just sharing a moment.
Exactly. And sometimes people ask, why do we even do small talk? But honestly, it helps people feel safe with each other.
It's like saying, "Hello, I see you. We are both humans in the same place right now."
That's a lovely way to say it. And today, we want to show you that small talk does not need difficult English. You already know many of the words.
Maybe you just need a little confidence, and maybe a few ideas about how to start and continue a simple conversation.
If you enjoy this kind of relaxed learning, we invite you to follow Global English Talks. When you listen often, your ears get stronger and your speaking becomes more natural.
And if you know a friend who feels shy speaking English, you can share this episode with them. Sometimes learning together feels easier.
Today, we will explore why small talk matters, how to understand it, and how you can practice without stress.
So imagine you are opening that small window again. Someone smiles at you. A conversation is about to begin.
Let's step into that moment together. So, Mark, let's start very simply. What is small talk? Many people hear this expression, but they imagine something mysterious.
Yes, but actually, small talk is just a short, friendly conversation about normal things. It is not deep, it is not serious, it is not a debate.
It's like talking about the weather, your weekend, traffic, food, or even how long the line is at a coffee shop.
Exactly. The topic is usually safe and easy. Nobody expects a perfect answer or a long story.
I like to think small talk is a social hello, not only with words, but with attention.
That's true. When someone asks, "How are you?" many learners think it is a real medical question.
Yes, they start thinking about sleep problems, stress, or back pain.
But most of the time, the person is just saying, "I want to be friendly." A simple, "I'm good, thanks, how about you?" is enough.
Small talk is also very short, sometimes only 30 seconds. Maybe you're waiting for an elevator together.
I remember once in Chicago during winter, I was standing outside a cafe at 7 in the morning. Everyone looked cold and tired. A stranger said, "Coffee tastes better when it's this cold." We both laughed.
That's lovely. We never learned each other's names, but that small moment changed my mood. I felt lighter when I walked inside.
That's an important point. Small talk is not about information. It's about feeling comfortable together.
Yes, it builds a bridge between strangers, a very small bridge, but strong enough for a smile to cross. And sometimes people worry about mistakes. They think, if my grammar is wrong, the conversation will fail.
But small talk is very forgiving. People listen more to your tone than your grammar.
If you sound warm and interested, communication works.
Also, silence can feel uncomfortable in many cultures. Small talk fills that silence gently.
Like soft music in the background of a room.
Exactly. Nobody studies the music, but everyone feels better because it exists.
So, if we define small talk in one easy idea, it is a short, friendly conversation that helps people feel connected in everyday moments.
And the good news is this: you already know enough English to start doing it.
Mark, I want to share an image today. Imagine you are in a small neighborhood bakery very early in the morning. The chairs are still a little cold, the lights are soft, and someone just opened the door. There is a quiet feeling in the air.
I can see that. Maybe you hear cups touching the counter, and the smell of bread is everywhere.
Yes. Now imagine the baker puts a small plate of warm cookies near the door. Not a big meal, just something simple. People who enter take one, smile, and suddenly the room feels friendly.
I like that image a lot.
For me, small talk is that plate of warm cookies. It is not the main event. Nobody comes only for that, but it changes the feeling of the whole place.
That makes sense. You're not trying to tell your life story. You're just offering something warm and easy.
Exactly. And the cookie is small on purpose. If the baker gave a huge dinner at the door, people would feel pressure.
They might even run away.
Yes, and sometimes English learners do this without noticing. Someone says, "Nice weather today," and suddenly they give a 5-minute explanation about climate change or their childhood memories.
Which can be interesting, but maybe too heavy for the moment.
Small talk works because it stays light. You offer a small piece of conversation and wait.
Wait for the other person to take it or not.
Exactly. If they answer smile and more, maybe the conversation grows. If they answer shortly, that's okay too.
I remember a train ride in Kyoto many years ago. It was late afternoon. A man next to me noticed my travel map and said, "First time here?" That was his small cookie.
That's sweet.
I said yes, and we talked for 20 minutes about parks and restaurants. But if I had answered only yes and looked at my phone, the conversation would end politely.
And nobody would feel bad.
Exactly. Small talk gives people choice. It says, we can talk if you want.
Another thing I love about this metaphor is warmth. A cookie is warm for a short time.
Meaning timing matters.
Yes, if you wait too long, the moment passes. Sometimes you just say something simple because the moment is there.
Like when everyone is waiting in a long elevator and someone jokes, "We might live here now."
Everyone laughs because they feel the same situation together.
So small talk is not about impressing people. It's about sharing a small, warm moment.
And when you see it like that, it becomes less scary. You are not performing English, you are just offering a cookie. Okay, Mark, now I think our listeners are ready for some practical help. Not rules, but friendly ideas. Let's talk about the first tip.
Yes. Tip number 1 is something very simple. Talk about what you can both see or experience in that moment.
I love this one because you don't need imagination. The conversation is already around you.
Exactly. One afternoon, I was waiting at an airport in Denver. A storm delayed every flight. People were tired. A woman near me looked at the screen and said, "I think we live here now." Everyone laughed.
That's perfect small talk. She didn't ask personal questions. She just noticed the shared situation. Weather, long lines, loud music, slow elevators. These are safe doors into conversation.
And learners sometimes think they need interesting topics, but simple is powerful. "This cafe is busy today," or "That dog is very friendly," already opens connection.
When you speak about something both people see, nobody feels surprised or uncomfortable.
Tip number 3 is listening with curiosity. Many learners focus only on what they will say next.
Yes, their brain is writing sentences while the other person is still talking.
I did that once at a community art class on a Tuesday evening. A woman told me she just moved to the city. I was busy preparing my answer instead of listening.
And then?
She asked, "Have you ever lived near the ocean?" I realized she already said she came from a beach town. I missed the story.
That happens a lot. Small talk grows when you react to what the person says.
You can ask easy follow-up questions. Was it hard to move? Or do you like it here so far?
You don't need perfect grammar. Interest is more important than perfection.
Tip number 3 is sharing a small piece of yourself. Not everything, just a little.
Like adding sugar to coffee. Too much changes the drink.
Exactly. Someone says, "Traffic was terrible today," and you answer, "Yes, I almost missed my meeting." Now you added a tiny story.
I remember standing in a bookstore in Portland on a rainy afternoon. A stranger said, "Rain again." I answered, "I moved here last year. I still don't own enough umbrellas."
That's funny. We laughed, talked about favorite books, and then went different ways. A small detail invited connection.
Tip number 4 is giving conversations a gentle ending.
Many learners don't know how to stop talking politely.
Yes, they feel trapped, but small talk is meant to end easily.
Simple phrases help. "Nice talking with you," or "I hope your day goes well."
Once, I met a woman walking her dog in a park at sunset. We talked about dogs for 5 minutes. Then she said, "Well, he's ready for dinner." She smiled and left. Perfect ending. Nobody felt rejected. The moment stayed warm.
So remember these ideas. Notice shared moments. Listen with curiosity. Share a small piece of yourself. And close conversations kindly.
Small talk becomes easier when you treat it like a friendly dance, not a performance. Okay, Mark, now I think our listeners are ready for some practical help. Not rules, but friendly ideas. Let's talk about the first tip.
Yes. Tip number 1 is something very simple. Talk about what you can both see or experience in that moment.
I love this one because you don't need imagination. The conversation is already around you.
Exactly. One afternoon, I was waiting at an airport in Denver. A storm delayed every flight. People were tired. A woman near me looked at the screen and said, "I think we live here now." Everyone laughed.
That's perfect small talk. She didn't ask personal questions. She just noticed the shared situation. Weather, long lines, loud music, slow elevators. These are safe doors into conversation.
And learners sometimes think they need interesting topics, but simple is powerful. This cafe is busy today, or that dog is very friendly, already opens connection.
When you speak about something both people see, nobody feels surprised or uncomfortable.
Tip number 3 is listening with curiosity. Many learners focus only on what they will say next.
Yes, their brain is writing sentences while the other person is still talking.
I did that once. At a community art class on a Tuesday evening, a woman told me she just moved to the city. I was busy preparing my answer instead of listening.
And then?
She asked, "Have you ever lived near the ocean?" I realized she already said she came from a beach town. I missed the story.
That happens a lot. Small talk grows when you react to what the person says.
You can ask easy follow-up questions. Was it hard to move? Or do you like it here so far?
You don't need perfect grammar. Interest is more important than perfection.
Tip number 3 is sharing a small piece of yourself. Not everything, just a little.
Like adding sugar to coffee. Too much changes the drink.
Exactly. Someone says, "Traffic was terrible today," and you answer, "Yes, I almost missed my meeting." Now you added a tiny story.
I remember standing in a bookstore in Portland on a rainy afternoon. A stranger said, "Rain again." I answered, "I moved here last year. I still don't own enough umbrellas."
That's funny. We laughed, talked about favorite books, and then went different ways. A small detail invited connection.
Tip number 4 is giving conversations a gentle ending.
Many learners don't know how to stop talking politely.
Yes, they feel trapped, but small talk is meant to end easily.
Simple phrases help. "Nice talking with you," or "I hope your day goes well."
Once, I met a woman walking her dog in a park at sunset. We talked about dogs for 5 minutes. Then she said, "Well, he's ready for dinner." She smiled and left.
Perfect ending.
Nobody felt rejected. The moment stayed warm.
So remember these ideas. Notice shared moments. Listen with curiosity. Share a small piece of yourself. And close conversations kindly.
Small talk becomes easier when you treat it like a friendly dance, not a performance. Okay, Mark, now I think our listeners are ready for some practical help. Not rules, but friendly ideas. Let's talk about the first tip.
Yes. Tip number 1 is something very simple. Talk about what you can both see or experience in that moment.
I love this one because you don't need imagination. The conversation is already around you.
Exactly. One afternoon, I was waiting at an airport in Denver. A storm delayed every flight. People were tired. A woman near me looked at the screen and said, "I think we live here now." Everyone laughed.
That's perfect small talk. She didn't ask personal questions. She just noticed the shared situation. Weather, long lines, loud music, slow elevators. These are safe doors into conversation.
And learners sometimes think they need interesting topics, but simple is powerful. "This cafe is busy today," or "That dog is very friendly," already opens connection.
When you speak about something both people see, nobody feels surprised or uncomfortable.
Tip number 3 is sharing.
That reminds me of a moment at a family party last summer. Many guests were visiting from different countries, English, Spanish, Portuguese, so many voices at once. After an hour, one guest quietly went to the balcony.
To escape?
Not escape, recharge. She watched the sunset for a few minutes. When she returned, she laughed more and joined conversations again.
That's important. Rest helps connection.
I like to imagine social energy like carrying grocery bags home. At first, they feel light.
But after 10 minutes, your hands start hurting.
Yes, you don't throw the groceries away. You just stop for a moment and change hands.
That's such a good metaphor. Rest is just changing hands.
For English learners, short breaks help your brain organize new sounds and words.
Maybe you step outside during a party. Maybe you drink water quietly. Maybe you listen more and speak less for a few minutes.
Listening is also participation.
Absolutely. And sometimes silence shows confidence, not weakness.
Another thing is kindness toward yourself. If a conversation feels difficult, it does not mean you are bad at English.
It may mean you are tired, hungry, or thinking about something else.
Small talk should feel like walking through a garden, not running a marathon.
And gardens have benches.
Exactly. You are allowed to sit down sometimes.
When you give yourself permission to rest, you actually enjoy conversations more.
And people feel that calm energy too. Okay, Mark, now it's time for one of my favorite parts, our tiny word tour.
Yes, this is where we slow down and look at useful words you can hear during small talk.
Today's first word is awkward.
Awkward describes a moment that feels uncomfortable or a little strange socially. Maybe nobody knows what to say, or something happens at the wrong time. For example, imagine you enter an elevator and accidentally stand facing everyone instead of the door. That feels awkward. You might say, "There was an awkward silence after my joke." This word matters because small talk often helps people avoid awkward moments.
That's very true. Our second word is chat.
A chat is a short, relaxed conversation. It is friendly and informal. You don't plan it. For example, you can say, "I had a quick chat with my neighbor while taking out the trash." In small talk, people usually want a chat, not a deep discussion. Understanding this helps you keep conversations light.
I like that one. Next word is polite.
Polite means showing respect and kindness through words or actions. In many cultures, small talk is a polite way to show friendliness. For example, you might say, "She asked about my weekend because she wanted to be polite." Knowing this helps learners understand that questions are often social kindness, not personal investigation.
Very helpful. The fourth word today is notice.
To notice means to see or become aware of something. Small talk often begins when you notice something around you. For example, "I noticed your book. Is it good?" Or, "I noticed the cafe changed its menu." This word matters because observation is one of the easiest ways to start conversation.
Yes, you don't need creativity, just open your eyes. Our fifth word is comfortable.
Comfortable means feeling relaxed and safe, not nervous or stressed. Small talk helps people feel comfortable together. You could say, "After a few minutes of talking, I felt comfortable speaking English." Learners should remember that comfort grows slowly. A short conversation can help build it.
That's encouraging. And our last word today is wrap up.
To wrap up means to finish something politely or naturally. In conversation, it helps you leave without feeling rude. For example, "I need to wrap up this chat because my meeting starts." This phrase is very useful because ending conversations kindly is part of good small talk.
I love that one because many learners worry about how to stop talking.
Yes, starting conversations is important, but ending them well leaves a good feeling too.
Okay, Mark, now I want to invite our listeners into a small challenge. Nothing stressful, just something gentle to try this week.
I like that. Learning works better when you do something small but real.
Exactly. So here is the idea. Choose one moment in your day where small talk could happen naturally.
Maybe at a coffee shop, maybe at work, maybe while waiting in line at a store.
Yes, you don't need a stranger if that feels scary. It can be a coworker, a neighbor, or even someone you already know a little.
The goal is not a long conversation, only one simple sentence.
For example, you can say, "Busy day today?" Or, "I like your shoes." Or, "This place smells amazing."
And then notice what happens inside you.
That's important. Not only what the other person says, notice your feelings. Maybe your heart beats faster. Maybe you smile more.
I remember when I moved to a new apartment building years ago. One evening, around 7, I met a neighbor near the mailboxes. I almost stayed silent.
But you didn't?
No, I said, "These boxes are always full on Mondays." It was not genius English.
Very poetic, Mark.
Thank you. Truly inspiring mailbox philosophy. But we laughed, and later he helped me carry furniture upstairs, all because of one simple sentence.
That shows how small talk can open unexpected doors.
And if the conversation ends quickly, that is also success.
Yes, the challenge is not to become best friends. The challenge is to practice courage.
You can even write down what happened afterward.
where you were, what you said, how you felt.
Those little notes help your brain remember, I can do this again.
So this week, offer one small conversational cookie to the world.
And see who smiles back. Now, let's make things even more practical. Some listeners ask, what can I actually do every day to get better at small talk?
Yes, because confidence grows with action, not only listening.
So today, we want to share 4 simple daily action steps. Nothing complicated, just realistic habits.
Step 1 is listening on purpose. During your day, notice how people start conversations around you.
Maybe at a coffee shop, at work, or even in videos online.
Listen for the first sentence. Many times it's about something simple, like, long line today, or that meeting was intense.
When you notice patterns, your brain collects examples. Later, you don't feel lost because you already heard similar moments.
Step 2 is preparing 2 or 3 easy sentences before leaving home.
Not a speech, just small tools in your pocket.
For example, how is your day going? Or, have you been busy lately?
I once did this before attending a community event at a library on a Saturday afternoon. I felt shy, so I practiced one question in my car.
Did it help?
Yes, I used it 3 times. Each time felt easier.
Step 3 is smiling and using body language.
Many conversations start before words.
Eye contact, a small nod, or a friendly smile tells people you are open to talking.
I noticed this while traveling in Lisbon. A barista smiled before speaking, and suddenly everyone sounded more confident.
Words matter, but warmth matters too.
Step 4 is celebrating small wins.
This one is very important.
Maybe you said only one sentence today. That counts.
Maybe you asked the question but felt nervous. That also counts.
Learning English is not a movie montage where everything changes in one day.
It's more like planting seeds. Some grow slowly, but they grow.
So listen carefully, prepare a few sentences, use friendly body language, and celebrate progress.
Small actions every day build big confidence over time.
So, Mark, before we finish today's conversation, let's take a moment to remember what we talked about together.
Yes, because learning becomes stronger when we slow down and look back.
We started by saying that small talk is not a test. It is simply a friendly way to connect with people in everyday moments.
Short conversations at a coffee machine, in an elevator, or while waiting in line can change how a day feels.
We also talked about the warm cookie metaphor.
My favorite part.
Mine too. Small talk is not a big dinner. It is a small, warm offering, something easy that invites connection without pressure.
Then we shared practical ideas. Notice what you share with the other person. Listen with curiosity. Share a small piece of yourself.
And don't forget to end conversations kindly. A gentle goodbye leaves a good memory.
We also reminded everyone that rest matters. Speaking another language takes energy.
Yes, you are allowed to step outside, breathe, or listen quietly when your brain feels tired.
During the tiny word tour, we explored words like awkward, chat, polite, notice, comfortable, and wrap up.
Each one helps you understand real conversations more clearly.
And our mini challenge encouraged you to try one simple sentence this week.
Because courage grows from small actions.
Finally, we shared daily habits. Listen to real conversations, prepare easy sentences, use friendly body language, celebrate progress.
When you combine these small steps, small talk becomes less scary and more natural.
Like opening a window and letting fresh air come in.
And now it's time for us to wrap up today's conversation. Thank you for spending this time with us here on Global English Talks.
Yes, truly. If you listened while walking, working, or relaxing at home, we hope this felt calm and helpful, like sitting with friends for a few minutes.
Remember, small talk is not about perfect English. It is about kindness, curiosity, and sharing small moments with other people.
Every short conversation you try is already progress. Even a smile and one sentence can open new doors.
If today's episode helped you feel a little more confident, we invite you to follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations.
And if you know someone learning English who feels shy speaking, you can share this episode with them. Sometimes encouragement travels faster between friends.
You can also listen again. Repeating episodes helps your ears recognize rhythm and natural expressions.
Maybe next time you hear someone say, "busy day today," your brain will answer faster.
And maybe you will smile instead of hiding behind oranges in the supermarket.
I still think those oranges were innocent victims.
They really were. I owe them an apology.
Wherever you are today, we hope you feel encouraged to open one small conversational window.
Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself and keep practicing step by step.
See you next time on Global English Talks.